Hey guys, welcome back to another reading vlog. So my last reading vlog wasn't extremely productive because I just failed the winter magical readathon and I decided to just basically stop it. But I am really excited for what I need to read during this reading vlog. I have a lot to read for January, so hopefully I can get a good amount read this week. So first things first is I need to do an unboxing for the book that I am going to be sending Hannah. So really quick recap, Hannah and I are doing a book exchange. We basically are reading our favorite book, which I read Sea Swept during the last reading vlog, and then a new adult book that neither of us have read. We just basically kind of like randomly picked one. She has no idea what this book is. I honestly got it because of the name of the main character. That's one of the biggest reasons why I got this book. So hopefully it's good. I'm kind of excited to read it and get myself out of this reading slump that I kind of fell into. So let's see. Okay, so, oh my gosh, the cover is awful. It's so bad. So the book that I got was The Deal by L. Kennedy. This is the first in a companion series, the Off-Campus series, and that's a really bad cover. Like, why is she in her underwear and why are we getting a crotch shot? Like, I mean, I don't know. I love the color though. This color is really, really pretty. I will say that. So hopefully the book is really good because there are books that I have read, like the Vampire Academy series. Those book covers are atrocious, but phenomenal series. So, you know, can't judge a book based on its cover, especially since I did get it. But the reason that I got this book is because the main character, her name is Hannah. And I couldn't pass it up. So when I was going through and like trying to figure out which ones to get, and there was like a few on my list that were like, I had high reviews. And when I learned that the main character's name was Hannah, I was like, that's it. That's the one I have to pick. So it's not very chunky. I think I can get through it really quickly. So it sounds like we're following two perspectives, female perspective and a male perspective. So main character's name is Hannah and then the male character's name is Garrett, and they're in college. I'm not sure if they're freshmen or not, but they are in college, and Hannah has a crush on a boy and she is trying to make him jealous or get his attention. So her and Garrett pretend to date. And I have a feeling maybe they fall for each other. I don't know, but I'm assuming it's going to be kind of like a hate to love relationship. I'm not positive, but I'm really, really, really intrigued and really excited to read this one. I'm gonna start it today. And also, really, really funny story I need to tell you. So when Hannah and I were picking our books, she told me, she was like, by the way, your book starts with the letter F. And I was like, okay, awesome. And I thought she meant like the first word in the book started with the letter F. But no, she meant the title. So I told her, well, yours starts with the letter H. It starts with He Doesn't Know I'm Alive. And also chapter 1 says, Hannah, he doesn't know I'm alive. So it starts with the letter H. And so apparently Hannah was like scouring Barnes & Noble looking for a book that starts with the letter H as the title, and then it just clicked a couple of days ago that I'm like, oh wow, no, she meant the title. Well, the title starts with the letter T, so I retold her that and she's like, that's no help at all because T is very, very common first letter in a title. I thought that was really funny and I just wanted to share that story with you guys. So I am going to get to reading this. I'm also listening to Children of Blood and Bone. I'm listening and following along with that one because the second book, Children of Virtue and Vengeance, is our Muggle Studies book club pick for January, so I need to read Children of Blood and Bone first. So I have a lot of reading to do, but I'm hoping I can read this one in a few days, especially if I'm like get really into it. And the best part is that I have stickers that I have been using to annotate. So I used it in Sea Swept and it was just so much fun. Like, this is great, you got this, I love this, get it done. And then my absolute favorite is all of the emojis, the little faces in the back. It's perfect to just kind of annotate in the margins. So yeah, I am really, really, really excited to get this one started. So I am going to do that, and then I will update you guys later. Good morning, everyone. So I wanted to do another update today. I did get some reading done these last couple of days, and I wanted to kind of share my thoughts because I am in the beginning of the two books that I am kind of focusing on. So I have been reading The Deal by Elle Kennedy, and I'm currently 50 pages in, and so far I have a lot of mixed emotions. There are a lot of strong personalities so far. Like the two main characters have very, very strong personalities and like character attributes, and I haven't decided if they're good or bad yet, but I will say I think this is a great book to annotate with, and I have a lot of mixed emotions in just 50 pages. Like there's been some cute scenes, there's been some scenes that have made me really mad, there has already been kind of a steamy sexy scene, there has been a scene that was kind of sad, and only 50 pages. So this book is definitely going to bring a lot of emotions out, and I think it'll be a really good one to like annotate. I was afraid that I wouldn't have enough to annotate with, but I'm annotating almost every single page. I have stickers and I'm highlighting quotes and I'm writing in the margins. Like I have been writing and annotating a lot in just 50 pages, and I'm really happy about that. I didn't want to pick a book that was like boring, and I don't think that will be this one. It also reads really quickly. I think I read these 50 pages in no time at all. So we're following two main characters, Hannah and Garrett, and Hannah, so far, honestly, I have mixed emotions on both of the main characters. So Hannah is quite spunky, and I do kind of like her determination. She knows what she wants, and she's kind of not afraid to speak up, and she kind of fights for what she wants so far, and she kind of doesn't take crap from anyone, and I really like that. I also like that she's very sarcastic. She's got a great sense of humor, so I'm definitely laughing a lot when Hannah and Garrett are kind of interacting so far, but I will say there are times where she can be kind of a bitch. And then Garrett, he is definitely the typical trope man whore college guy, like frat boy, and it's very tropey, but I mean, he's really funny. He's got quite a sense of humor. I really like the scenes that he's in, but he's kind of an asshole. And like I said, he's definitely a man whore. And some of the things he thinks of is just like, what? So yeah, it's quite interesting being in their perspective because it's set in first person in both of their perspective. And I will say that the author did a really good job so far of having different voices to each character. Like I know when I'm in Hannah's point of view, and I know when I'm in Garrett's point of view because they think so differently. So I'm really excited to continue reading on with The Deal. I don't think it's going to take me very long to read, and I'm quite excited. I hope Hannah likes it. Like this is, at least I think it's funny. Like there are some really good funny moments so far. So at least I think she'll laugh when she reads this. And then the next book that I am trying to focus on is Children of Blood and Bone, and I'm really enjoying reading Hannah's annotations. It's really great, and I love what she's highlighting. We kind of have similar thoughts. So like she is annotating on things that I probably would have annotated as well. So it's really, really great. So far, I didn't even tell you how far I am. I am about 25 pages into the book, so not very far at all. I think I've listened to about maybe 40 minutes. It's an 18-hour audiobook, or close to 18 hours. I think it was like 17 hours and like 45 minutes. And I still have quite a bit of listening to. I think I'm at like 17 hours still remaining. So I haven't listened to a lot of it, but at least I've started it. So right now we're still at the stage where I'm getting introduced to the characters and the world and the magic system. So I'm just kind of trying to understand what's going on, but it explains very well. The writing flows very beautifully, so I'm very excited to continue on. I think once I really get into it, I think I'm gonna end up really enjoying it. Hannah gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, and we tend to like the same book, so I think I'm gonna end up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars as well if she did. I think what I'm gonna do now is sit down and read a little bit more of The Deal. I'm very interested to see where this story is gonna go, and I hope I don't hate this book, but I have a feeling it's gonna kind of maybe go down that direction where it's gonna be like, no, no, oh no, oh no. Hey guys, so it is later on in the day and I am still reading The Deal. I am really enjoying it. So I just got to page 105. So I've read another 55 pages or so since my last update this morning. I know this morning I mentioned I wasn't sure how I felt about like the characters and how I felt about the plot, and like I was still kind of like unsure. It could go 2 different ways. Like I could really start hating it or I could start loving it, and I have to say I am actually really enjoying it. Like the banter between Hannah and Garrett is so great. It reminds me a lot of the banter and sass between Audrey Rose and Thomas in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. Like even Hannah a little bit, she's got some qualities that reminds me of Audrey Rose, and she's just a little bit more, I would like say, bitchy. So like Stalking Jack the Ripper was set, you know, in like the 1700s, and everyone is a lot less like vulgar and straightforward, but Audrey Rose was very honest and determined, and she knew what she wanted. And Hannah's kind of very similar as well. There are like 3 words that Garrett used to kind of describe her, and I feel like those words are great: sarcastic, honest, and headstrong. And then Garrett is hilarious. Like I know he came off as like such a man whore at the very beginning, but the more I'm in his point of view, the more I'm starting to really like him as a character, and he is just so funny. And I think I much prefer being in Garrett's point of view than in Hannah's. Like I've noticed that when I'm in Hannah's point of view, I'm kind of like, oh, I want to know what Garrett is thinking. So it's so good. I am just loving the relationship right now. They're just so natural and themselves, and it's a very platonic right now, so they're just kind of getting to know each other with like no strings attached, and I'm really liking that. So it's really good. I think like I see them working really well together. Like they balance each other out really well, and I know that this is a romance, so obviously like I know that they're going to become involved, but I could honestly see them being like best friends. Just even if they weren't intimate, I could see them having a great friendship, because they do complement each other really well, and they have kind of a really good relationship so far, and they're very sassy, and they've got a good banter, and they kind of bicker, but they're friends, and Garrett is really kind of starting to look out for her and cares about her, even though it's not sexual yet. There's 360 pages in this book, and I'm already on page 106 or 105. So I'm like almost a third of the way through. I have a feeling I'm going to finish this book really quickly. I Snapchatted Hannah that I'm like really loving it. And let's see if she just sent me, whoop! I find myself like smiling and laughing. I'm actually laughing out loud. Like it is really funny. I love the humor so far in here. It's great. It's not a very, like, there are some really good quotes, I will say that. Like the author brings in some really important topics to discuss, things that we don't really talk about or things that are kind of frowned upon, I feel like. And I do like that she's talks about some of these really sensitive issues. I've been putting a gold star on things that I think are like beautifully said and really important and great messages to take home. So yeah, that is it for my update, and I'm going to keep reading and update you guys later. I am about 50% of the way through, I would say. Maybe, a little bit over. Maybe I'm on page 190. And this book is so good. I'm really, really enjoying it. And I just got to a scene that is just so like sweet, but just such great character growth. I'm loving the story, and I love what the author is writing about. And yeah, there are some clumsy scenes, to be honest, but I mean, there's some really good scenes in here as well. So I think I'm just gonna keep on reading now. It's getting really, really, really good, and I'm definitely at like a breakthrough part. I didn't think that this book would make me so sad, and I didn't think that it would just like tug at my heartstrings so much. Like, it's not necessarily a sad scene, it's just like, it just really gets to you. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this update. I love Hannah and Garrett. Garrett is phenomenal. Great character development so far. He's flawed in certain ways, but in other ways, like the parts that count, I feel, he's a really good character, and like he's a really good guy. And I'm definitely warming up to Hannah a lot more. And I just love how they're developing their friendship first, and they care about one another. And yeah, there's definitely lust there, but I think there's also genuine feelings of like towards each other, and I think they are starting to actually care. Especially now we got to like a pivotal point in the story. We're kind of at that, I wouldn't say necessarily climax, but we're definitely at a pivotal point in the story. Hannah just got some great character development and growth. I'm just gonna keep on reading and then update you guys later. Hey guys, so I wanted to do another update. It's the following day, and I am almost done with the deal. I am on page 200 and I want to say 250, sorry, and there's 360 pages. So I have approximately 100 pages left. I'm almost done, and I'm really, really, really enjoying it so much. I just love the relationship between Hannah and Garrett. It's so different than the beginning. I'm loving the character development. I think the progression is very well written and well done. It's not too fast, but it's not too slow. It's kind of like a perfect speed, to be honest, for a college romance. Although it does feel maybe a little bit rushed, I will say, because I think they've only known each other for like 2 weeks potentially. But they spend almost every single day together, and they really, really get to know each other. And so I do feel like, I don't know, it doesn't feel rushed. It feels well done, in my opinion, and I'm really enjoying it. I have a feeling now we're about to get kind of to the, I want to say like the problem of the relationship. You know, I'm not sure the theories right now, but you know how like with every book that you read with a romance, there's always that trope where the relationship, like the couples break up and then they get back together. So I have a feeling like everything is great now and things are going really, really well. So I am assuming shit is about to hit the fan and things are about to happen. I bet they're going to break up. They're going to have a huge fight. And then I'm assuming maybe they're gonna get together in the end. That's just my theory, just with a lot of romance books that I've read. That's typically what happens, but I'm just curious with who's gonna break up with who, because I have a feeling that's exactly what's gonna happen. Like I said, these are all theories just from a lot of romance books that I've read. Usually this is about the time, like the last 100 pages or so is about the time where the couples, something happens, someone does something stupid, someone fucks up, and then, you know, we'll see. Anyways, so I kind of want to just like get through that part. I hate that part in the story. It's just kind of there for drama, and I don't know, there's so much other things going on in this book that I feel like we don't necessarily need that drama. Like, Hannah herself is battling a lot of issues, and she's got like her own demons, and so does Garrett, and they're both kind of fighting that, like they have their own side story, and then they're kind of trying to heal themselves together, and they're really helping each other out a lot, and they trust each other. So I don't think that this story needs the drama of a breakup and then a back together kind of thing. I will say, as far as the romance, so at first it was really tasteful. I felt like it was written really well. We just got through kind of like a really cringy scene, but then the next scene was okay. So I don't know, it's really funny. I was like Snapchatting Hannah and I was telling her how this book is making me cry, and she's like, wow, your book must have a lot more substance than mine, because apparently hers is just like complete, I think she said it's just like kind of a smut book, whereas this one has some smut in it, but it also has some substance to it, I feel like. But there was a scene that I was just kind of like reading it with my eyes half opened. It was really, really cringy, but otherwise all the other scenes have been okay so far. But like I said, I still have another 100 pages or so, and a lot can happen to 100 pages, and it can definitely get steamier. I would definitely say this is considered new adult, like this is definitely not PG-13. So that is it for this update, and I will update you guys later. Okay, so I just wanted to take a quick pause because what I've just read is ridiculous. There's so much going on in this book. It's crazy. So there's a character that is abusive in this book. I am just shocked at some of the things that I'm reading. I have no words. I have no words with how upset I am at this particular scene, and I have a feeling that it's not over. Like, we're kind of just getting a glimpse into the abusiveness of this character and this relationship. I don't want to say too much because I really don't want to spoil anything, but I have a feeling that we're going to be getting a lot more, and I have a feeling it's going to be really bad. This book has a lot of dimensions. It's crazy. Like, just the college aspect, the grades, which I love. I love the fact that Garrett is having to study really hard, and then we're getting the important parts of their major, and Garrett's hockey is really important, Hannah's singing and her showcase, and then we have their lives, and it's just so interesting. And I love that we're seeing all aspects, and like their parents and family. I just love how much we're getting of the whole story. And I have to say, for a contemporary, this is a new adult contemporary, but for a contemporary book, because I don't read a lot of contemporary, I have to say I am quite impressed with how much is actually happening and how detailed and how much is going on, because like sometimes it's hard to rate contemporary books because it's not, you know, there's not like world building and magic system, things like that, like you have with fantasy. So sometimes it's a lot harder to rate and to judge, but I have to say I'm really impressed with character development, the character growth, the writing style, the pacing, the internal battles and struggles that each of the characters are facing with, their relationship together and then their relationship apart, their schooling, their majors, their hobbies, friends. I'm getting like the whole thing with these characters. Like, I know what's going on in their lives, and it is really, really refreshing to read. And also we're talking about a lot of, I would say, sensitive topics that I feel like I haven't read a lot of, especially when it comes to like women and their sexuality and how sometimes it's still kind of taboo. I love how the author discusses some of these, and I love how she talks about women and empowering themselves and like their sexuality. It's really good. I'm really, really enjoying it. But oh my gosh, like the scene that I am reading now, honestly, I am just flying through all of my little emoji stickers. So many great scenes, and this book has brought out so many emotions in me. So I'm like laughing out loud, I am giggling, I am crying, I am furious. I'm gonna have to read more by this author. I think I'm definitely gonna continue on because wow. So far, I have to say, I think I'm gonna end up giving this a 5 out of 5 stars. Okay, so I am really pissed off just now because there is a trope scenario that is happening right now that I absolutely hate, and it is one of those lying to the person you are with for their own good. I absolutely hate that trope. I find it just, it's just, I feel like honesty is so important in a relationship, and if you can just discuss it, you can come to a reasonable solution, usually. And if there is no solution, well, you can try and figure it out and work through it and talk about it. This whole bullshit trope of needing to be a martyr, lying to your significant other to protect them, I just, it makes my blood boil. It's one of like the worst tropes. I think I would rather read about a love triangle than about that. All it is just added for drama. I read it in so many young adult contemporaries, which is one of the biggest reasons why I don't tend to like a lot of young adult contemporary, because the characters are immature. And I mean, I guess this is still, I mean, it's new adult. They're in college, they're young, they're 20. So obviously they don't have everything worked out. But I'm just like, I'm so frustrated that this is happening right now. Like, we're basically at the point of the story. I have like I have 50 pages left, maybe 50 pages left, like 40 pages. And we're at the point of the story where, of course, there's drama, and the characters are having issues with their relationship, and so they're gonna probably break up, and then they're gonna end up getting back together. I really thought that this book was going to exclude that. Like, I was really enjoying kind of just everything that was going on in Hannah's life and Garrett's life, and how they were having to kind of like, basically they were helping each other heal, and they were doing such a good job about it, and they were working so well together. And so I really thought that, I thought that they would be able to work through the shit show that is happening right now. But no, one of the characters has decided that they're gonna break up with the other one and lie to them as to reason why, and basically tell them they don't love them when we know they do. And it's so frustrating. So frustrating, which, I mean, I assume they're getting back together, and I'm so glad that at least I don't have to like read, you know, over 150 pages of pining after each other. I will say, like, at least they got to that point pretty quickly in the book, and I'm almost done with it, so I'm assuming it's gonna resolve really quickly. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they get back together sooner rather than later, and I only have to read 20 or so pages of this fuckfest. So let's just get through that so that I can finish this book. I am loving it. It is so good, except for this stupid trope, and I'm sure other people are probably don't care so much about this trope. Like, I doubt. I don't know. I'm actually curious if Hannah, if you are watching this, you're currently reading it, let me know. Like, send me a Snapchat right now or text me and let me know when you get to this point what you think of like that scene, you'll know which one I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm going to continue reading. Like I said, I'm on page 320 and there's only 360, I believe, without spoiling myself. There are 360 pages. So yeah, I have 40 pages left. So I'm gonna go ahead and just finish this, and I will be back to share my final thoughts, and that will probably be my last update for this reading vlog. Hey guys, so I wanted to do one final update for this reading vlog. This was definitely a much more productive week than last week was, and I am really happy with my reading progress. I was able to get The Deal read by Elle Kennedy, and I ended up giving this a 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. I liked the ending. Not everything was resolved. I'm actually okay with, because you know, that happens in life. Not everything gets resolved and everything isn't tied up in a neat little bow. So I definitely can appreciate the fact that there are still some areas of the characters' lives that we don't really know what's gonna happen. There were so many great qualities to this book as well. The characters, the sense of humor was just spot on. Sass, the banter, the bickering, it was just fantastic. Like, if you enjoyed the Stalking Jack the Ripper series and loved the dynamic between Audrey Rose and Thomas, then I highly recommend reading this one. Don't forget, it is new adult, so there's definitely cussing, drinking, there is sexual abuse trigger as well, and also, of course, there is a lot of sex scenes. The pacing was fantastic. The characters, the character growth, and the development of the characters was really well done. I loved that we knew which point of view we were in. It was obvious when we were in Garrett versus Hannah's, because both of them are written in first person. It was just very well done. A lot of depth. It starts kind of iffy. Like, I wasn't sure if this book was gonna have a lot of meat to it. I thought it was just gonna be straight up smut with no story and just really nothing deep or meaningful, but I have to say I was completely wrong. There are a lot of great, amazing quotes. The author discusses a lot of sensitive topics, and I think she brings a light a lot of things that we are still kind of scared to talk about sometimes, or are taboo. I love that there is absolutely no slut shaming in this book. It's very well done. Hannah is trying to learn about sex and figure things out, and it's not condemned. She's not slut shamed. It's not taboo. It's just, I think it's really refreshing to read about that. I do want to continue on. I'm going to end up actually buying this book for myself. I think I'm just going to go ahead and buy the trilogy. So there's The Mistake and then The Score. So those are the other two in the series, and I really want to read them. I'm excited that I have both of my books read for Hannah's book exchange sooner than last year. Last year, I think we maybe sent our books out in like February, March-ish potentially, and we are mid-January and we're done. So I'm quite happy with that. I also am getting a little bit listened to Children of Blood and Bone, still not that much. Really, my main focus was on finishing The Deal, and then I can focus on Children of Blood and Bone. So I have listened to a little bit more, and let's see where I am at. Okay, so I'm about 40 pages in. Really not far, especially since this is, I'm scared, I don't want to spoil myself. Let's see, how many, 525 pages. So I have over 500 pages to read. So yeah, I definitely need to get reading on this book. So that is it for this reading vlog. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!